What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I am coming at you with what I'm going to refer to from this day onwards as my disguise arc. I was going to make this an episode of Brewing With, but there was just too many options, and I ended up narrowing it down to my favorite one, and then I will show you the others briefly as like bonus for those of you who are lovely and stick around to the end of the video. Some of these that I will show you definitely deserve a full video or BrewTech of their own, but after having tested extensively, and I also missed yesterday's video, apologies, had something come up at work. I couldn't find the time to record, but that means I've also had plenty of time to play. So I've played with these decks a lot, and this is the one that is, for me at least, working the best. I have a current 8-1 record with this particular brew I'm about to show you. And without further ado, I think it's about time that we jump into tonight's brew. Simply called Rakdos Disguise. So as you can see here, I mean, I got Gruul, Boros, Rakdos, Jund. The Jund one is interesting. The Gruul one also. Boros, we're not quite there yet. But like I said, we will get into this all, sooner rather than later. But for tonight, we will be focusing on Rakdos Disguise. V1.5. I went through many versions. This is what's been functioning for me. I think there may still be one or two cards that are worth talking about that I tried in other versions of Disguise, and a card that no one's really playing, which at first glance appears to be more of a limited card, but might actually be perfect if you are trying to build a Disguise deck in Standard. But enough blabbing. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Okay, so it's essentially mono red. It's another one of these like light, it's kind of Rakdos light. The only real black card worth talking about is the Hunted Bonebrute here, which went well under my radar. And then we've got Callous Sell-Sword, but it's really mostly in here for the adventure side, so it's really a red card. So actually the only proper black card is 3 copies to go for the throw it, because you want to deal with that Shieldred, you want to deal with that Atraxa, you want to get rid of that one big blocker with life gain or whatever, because the name of the game here is to just, beat the opponent to death with your hasty, more aggressive red cards. So, Disguise, before we get, further into the BrewTech, Disguise, for those of you who haven't been playing much of the new set, is a new mechanic, which is essentially morph, but the thing gets ward 2, which is honestly better. And I've noticed now, having played with all of the good Disguise cards from the set, that this turn 3, it's a turn 3 thing. Play it on 3, and it's got ward 2. If you're on the play, that means the opponent's just playing their third land when they untap, if they have it. And a go for the throat isn't going to be able to do it, right? So, yes, I mean, sure, they can Brotherhood's End. I mean, whatever. There's endless options to deal with these little disguise things, because they're just 2/2s. Sweepers, or even just a play with fire for 1 mana. You easily have the ward 2 to pay. But, it does make sense that it's like that, because it does make it so that these disguised creatures survive until the following turn, which is when most of these disguised decks, from what I have, felt while playing them, are trying to do. You're trying to close the game out by turn 4, at the latest turn 5. And there's a lot of sneaky reach. So, disguise cards, before we go into anything else. We've got the main card of the deck, I would say, the Pyrotechnic Performer. This is one of our major payoffs, okay? Not only is the disguise cost very low, So that is the cost that you need to pay to turn it back face up. So you're always casting them for 3, but then they have different costs to flip them back over. The Pyrotechnic Performer, it's just 1 red mana, so it's very easy to do, and whenever it or another creature you control is turned face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So, of course, multiple copies of Pyrotechnic Performer on the battlefield. Amazing. But even just 1, which is, I've found pretty cool. Like, it ends up being like another Lightning Strike. If you top deck one of these, you can, and you have 4 mana available, and you're worried the opponent's going to respond with a sweeper or something right after. You're in that point where you're like, you've already been hit by a sweeper, and you're just trying to, as I said earlier, have that little bit of extra reach to push them over, you know, another couple, 3-4 points of damage. You can just play this, flip down, and then just pay 1, flip it, 3 damage to face. It's really nice. But, you know, when you've read the card carefully, you realize that something with high power is going to be very good. So, enter Hunted Bonebrute into the conversation. This thing is pretty bonkers. I think most of us at first glance were like, you're giving the opponent these little 2/2s. And flavor-wise, I mean, look at how cute that little puppy is. And it makes sense. Like, you know, it's got 2, it's like flavor win, right? It's got 2 toughness. It makes 2 1/1s. It's got menace. The 2 1/1s block the brute. You see where we're going here. But if, and this is the part that I missed, if you disguise it 3 mana face down, then it's not it entering the battlefield, and therefore you do not give the opponent the 2 little 1/1s. And then this one also has a very low, you know, flip up cost of just 1 and a black. So what we're trying to do here is have a Pyrotechnic Performer on the battlefield, attack, and then pump our Bonebrute with Monstrous Rage, with Ancestral Anger, and get it to be even more than the base 6 power. And then once it gets through for the damage, flip it, and you deal its power to the opponent's face as well. So often I've done like 14 damage in 1 turn. And the cool thing is, if they block it with a Death Toucher or whatever, because its 2 toughness is very low. Even if you've pumped it up with a Monstrous Rage and you've got 3, maybe 3 toughness, it still dies in combat often. And then when Bonebrute dies, each opponent loses 3 life. So again, that little bit of extra reach. When you're thinking that even if you only have a Pyrotechnic Performer and you flip it, it does 3 damage. When this dies, it does 3 damage. We've got 3 Lightning Strikes. That's another, you know. And then we've got 3 End the Festivities, which I brought in especially for the Boros Convoke matchup, and also Play with Fire. You realize that we've got a lot of burn as well. And if it was not all, we can also, as I said earlier in the introduction, use the adventure side of the Callous Sell-Sword to then fling the Bonebrute at the opponent's face. And that can be said of any of our creatures, of course. I also particularly like it on a Fugitive Codebreaker, because when you fire off the burn together, it also does a little prowess trigger. Wait, let me see. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power, then sacrifice it. You see? So you'll still get the prowess trigger, which will push the Fugitive Codebreaker up even a tiny bit more. Then you throw it at the opponent's face. For 1 red mana, it's really nice, this little Callous Sell-Sword. And this is finally the deck where I feel like it's doing what it's supposed to do. I've been dying to play this in other decks, and it just never quite, Now it's like perfect. You just hold it there, wait, bid your time. And the cool thing is, of course, if you're sacking the Hunted Bonebrute to this burn together, then you also get the 3. You see where I'm going. There's a lot of burn, and it's sick. I'm 8-1 with this version right now, so hopefully no Streamer's Curse. We all know how that afflicts me from time to time, but I'm fairly confident that we're going to kick some butt. 20 lands, 1.6 average. Bunch of 1-drops. It's enough. Trust me. Let's jump into some games. That's enough talking. It's time for some action, baby. This deck is so freaking sick. I got a little bit of inspiration here and there. Honestly, like the first Disguise deck I saw, I think was LVD Legend, or what's an LV Legend? And then also Ash Lizzle put up like a Gruul one. And then I sort of made my own version, as I always do. And this is what, you know, came together after a long and arduous... Okay. Do we risk it? I think we can. I'm going to try and top deck one more land here. Because then it's okay. Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. There's the land we needed. But this is probably Esper Legends. Oh no, it's probably just Toxic, eh? Yeah. I think it's just Toxic. When they attack, you kind of know. Oof. You know what would be amazing? End the Festivities off the top. No luck. So then, in that case, we're forced to take out the Duelist. This is my first matchup against Toxic with this deck. Interesting. Oh, cool. We get to do a little... Ooh. That's not good. That is really not good. Of course, you can also... I forgot to mention it when we were going through the various disguise cards. He has like Fading Hope or something. Ooh, hello. Codebreaker is also one with disguise. And it seems like a very high cost, but in a deck with lots of instants and sorceries, then the cost gets reduced, and it often just ends up costing you 1. And then it becomes a nice little bit of card advantage in the early game. In the late game. Thank you. No bueno. But we're gearing ourselves up for the combo finish here. We gotta swing, right? I mean... Cool thing is, these are also colorless. Right? So... The, you know, Skrelv can't force... We're on 3, though. But the opponent's also on 9 life. So I think we've got him. We just can go... probably... We probably just don't even have to... Yeah, we don't even have to do anything. As long as they don't find a way to remove our Brute now... Surely they'll swing in with... probably just to gain the life, I guess. Let's see. Maybe he won't. But then he also loses 1 life next turn. Yeah, we've got him. If we top deck one more land, that'll be even better. Okay, I mean, that just comes back. Oh, that's a big mistake. Surely. Like, how come they can see it when it's phased out? That's terrible. You're dead. Ow! Okay, 9-1. And that one loss was to, like, I can't even remember what. And we even mulliganed, and we had a one land opener. Still just managed to, like, out of nowhere. This thing is crazy town. And then, like, you know, those times when what I just did doesn't finish the game off. Then you've got a freaking, you know, what's the base? You got a 6/2 menacer. That has to be dealt with. And if they deal with it, they take another 3. This card really, like, I missed it. When I first saw it, I was just like, oh, cool, another thing for fight rigging or whatever. But it's so much more complex than that. I really like the design. It's super well made. All right, on to game 2. Definitely a good showing of what the brew is capable of. And hopefully we can continue to put up some sweet W's.
I'll show you guys some stats at the end, as I often do. The times when I don't, it's either because I forget or because the deck I haven't put enough reps in to actually, you know. So I would have preferred to see like a Kumano, but I'll still keep it. Might be a bad idea. Aha! Ask and you shall receive. This could still be Boros. And then this little... Oh, okay. Okay. So it's probably the Gruul version. Okay, I am actually just going to play out this Callous Sell-Sword as a 2-mana 3/3. You know, because of the Kumano. Totally acceptable. And if that forces a removal, great. We're gearing ourselves up to do the thing, very much so. You know, turn 3, disguise. Ooh. Okay. Aha! I think this might be arcane bombardment shenanigans. Ooh. 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 Opponent coming with the spicy jang. Yeah, sure, man. That's fine. That's kind of why I played him up. Now, we can probably quite safely play face down card man here. We're a few turns away from... Okay, that's not cool. But... we can just kill it. Should we just do that and wait a turn? I think so. Boom. Boom. Get him a little lower. That's pretty annoying, but it's also totally fine. So we can go bang and then flip. Yeah. Really? Okay. So, do we just win? Says Menace. You're on 3 life. If you kill it, you die. If you block it, you die. We've also got, you know, the backup plan, just in case they had whatever else going there, but... Bye. Bye. Ooh! Starting to climb back into the higher mythic with this little disguise adventure I've been on. The Gruul one is also powerful, and then I just went, wait, hang on. Because it's not really super aggro, it's more like you gotta... It almost feels like more like a combo deck. So the mana... Why don't we just make it Jund? And what I fused together my Gruul one with the Rakdos one, and this is the one that I think deserves a full video on its own. I promise you we will get there. The Jund one is popping because it's a very light splash just for the Bonebrute. You really just need like 1 black mana to transform it, or, you know, to flip it face up again. So it's really not that much of a like mana issue. You know, there aren't that many aggressive 3-color decks. There are some, but it's got to be some intense mana fixing like Naya humans or whatever, where you have all the, you know, the stuff. Ooh, finally we get to see a Pyrotechnic Performer, and opponents still playing Kamigawa cards so late in... Okay, so I think I'm actually going to go for the Performer and see what happens.
Because often it just gets removed, right? Okay, that's just great. So now, like I said earlier in the introduction, their usual removal is something like a... okay, this is just fantastic. Please attack. Attacks. Okay. I think if we draw a land... Yeah. No land. I don't think he's gonna block. Yeah. Like, get rid of the thing that can scale. Okay, so Performer takes one for the team. That really sucks. But, land, please. Oh. Okay. That's no good. Freaking Kamigawa cards. An entire deck made of Kamigawa cards except for two. Helix and Ossification. That still sees play. It just drives me nuts. This is the main reason why I complain about the rotation. This type of nonsense. Just so boring. Okay. I have to make a call soon, so let's just swing. Yeah, no. Probably just got another ossification, which kind of sucks. But we've got some like gas still in the tank here with the okay. It's another 5 life gain, but if he swings, okay, he's got the 2 creatures for the menace. Oh no. God, I hate this deck so much. Just so pathetic. I'm done with it. Like, it's really just bores me to death. It's hard for me to really express how boring this deck is for me to play. Honestly. The same old crap for just months and months and months. Years. Done. This one we lose. I wish these people would, like, just grow up, man. Like, play something else, dude. It's so dull. Every card Kamigawa except for the ossification. It's been how long? I can't even remember. It feels like ever. That's enough salt. It's enough salt, Lone Fox. The viewers don't want to get doused in a gigantic deluge of salty sprinkles, but hello. I'll take you. That was pretty cool, actually. The blue guy. Alright. So 2 wins, 1 loss to Selesnya Enchantments. Fortunately, almost sees no play anymore. Like, it's still got a very high win rate on the thing. As you can see, it just does that kind of stuff often. It's making me regret killing the Kami of Transience when I did. I should have gone for the life gainer, for sure. That was a bit of a misplay. In retrospect. Okay. Nice. I hope it's not mono blue. I'd rather play Simic cookies. Okay, it's that artifact deck. At least this means he doesn't have the there's this ninja that makes a treasure. Okay. Can we race mono blue aggro? I think so. Third land off the top would just be fantastico. It's got to be the Gingerbrute, right? Then we just lightning strike the retrofitter. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now we're just doing the mono red thing, which is also just perfectly fine. Just casual 10 damage to the face. They do play counter spells, so I just like the nice thing is this more aggro version seems to tap out almost always. We have like a guaranteed 3 damage here. You can't swing, mate. You're just dead. Oh my goodness. Maybe he's got Fading Hope, which is also fine, you know, like. There we go. As I said, the 3 mana thing. Now we can swing. Let's see if he has the Fading Hope. So he still takes 3 plus 3. That's game. Rakdos, disguise. Rakdos, disguise. Just so sick, man. I'm loving playing this deck. Like, I cannot express enough how much this deck has been like doing it for me over the last few days. I was a little bored and faffing around, trying to like come up with decks, and then just okay. So we've done the thing multiple times now. I don't feel the need to play anymore. I do have to also start to make my videos a little bit shorter to fit around my much busier work schedule this year. So please accept my apologies. If you want to see, you know, longer videos, they'll probably be released like once a week or so on the weekends. But on a weekday, I have to really like strategize. So this video is going to be coming out on Monday, I believe, as I'm recording this. Anyway, let that be, you know, a little bit of news and announcements here at the end of the video. So, this one, yeah, we'll come back to this. There's definitely something here as well, but not yet. But essentially, I took this shell, which is, we all know, you know, the Picnic Ruiner deck with Cacophony, Scamps, and whatnot. And it turns out that the best Gruul 4-drop from the new set is not the Mole God. I played the Mole God. I played the Mole God a lot. I don't know. Felt super underwhelming. I sometimes had 4 in my... I don't know why. It's weird like that, the algorithm. I sometimes had up to 4 copies in my deck, and I wouldn't draw it for the whole game. Or when I did get it, the opponent just removes it. I don't have the save spell. It doesn't have haste. You got to make the whole deck around trying to give your Mole God haste, and then I don't know. It felt terrible. Yaris, on the other hand, which is a 4-drop, has a little bit more toughness, so tougher to remove, and it is such a sweet payoff for all of these flip over cards. So I'm not going to give you a full BrewTech now. Just a little teaser. We're going to be doing this one, and then what I did was I took Rakdos and Gruul and chucked them all together into a juicy John brew, and This one is also banging. I promise you. Couple copies of Not Dead After All. Game-changing stuff. Like, wow. Like, this one is also just popping. Because we get all of the, like, good green buff spells on top of Monstrous Rage. The little bit of additional card draw from the Audacity. Alongside the already very strong kind of Picnic Ruiner core of the deck, which is, I would say, everything from the Scamp to Tyvar's Stand and the Ruiner. Now we've brought in the Disguise mechanic to bolster that, and this one is, stay tuned. That's all I can say. But that is going to have to be it for this one. I'm just going to bring up some stats here for you guys. We're going to have to refresh the page, because we are now at least 12 for 2 or something like that. 11 for 2. One version, threw it together, bam, bam, bam. Yes, I did have another version too. This is a V1.5, but this one, once I brewed it, 11 for 2. It's slapping. We lost to that little Selesnya Enchantments fellow there with the life gain. Definitely a misplay. I should have killed the lifelinker. That was a big mistake. But other than that, the deck feels phenomenal. And I would love it if you guys copied it and took it for a spin on the ladder, and then let me know in the comments how you did with it. And, any card choices that you would change, that sort of stuff. I always appreciate those comments because it helps both me and the rest of the people that follow read the comments into better Magic players, hopefully. But that is going to have to be it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be seeing you all in the next one with another fresh Disguise brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all!